Alright, I'm going to take my handlebars off. I sanded a bit of this down, but I want to really do it good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off, get my handlebars off of here, get rid of this thing. I think it's kind of outdated and old. It's a little tight. There's 4 Allen head wrench or Allen head nuts on here, and this is a 4. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a 4 millimeter Allen socket to get these off, and there it goes. And so you can see these when I get one out. I'll show you. It looks pretty nasty. It's all rusted up and everything. I have a really cool tumbler. I've got 2 different types of tumblers. I've got a media tumbler, and then I've got a wet tumbler, and I much more prefer the wet tumbler. I use it for brass, for gun cartridges, bullet cartridges, and because I reload my own bullets, so I use it for that. But I mean, it works perfectly on stuff like this. And there's a little trick too that I'll show you when you do a tumbler. There's YouTubes on this all over the place, but they say to you throw a little bit of this in there, lemon shine, in the tumbler with a bunch of with a little bit of dish soap. Well, you put dish soap in there and you tumble it, and I mean, these things will come out like brand new. You can't believe it. It's quite amazing. So anyway, let me get this off of here. And that is off. And there we go. So that looks pretty good. Gotta clean it up a bit. Clean this up. Get this off of here. Get a Phillips screwdriver. Get this out of here. Put some sort of something on there. It's a 3/8 inch wrench. That on there. Get this big massive bolt out of here. And get this off of here. Get this all nice and cleaned up. All right, that's done. And I'll clean it up all night. It's amazing how light these things are and how much they can handle. I mean, I used to go do a little racing, and man, you can put some major pressure on these and it won't break. So, all right, I'm about to start cleaning up these handlebars here. So I'm going to start with this. If you ever need to clean stuff up, this is my go-to right here for a lot of different things. It's not thinner, it's lacquer thinner. Lacquer thinner is the key to a lot of cleanup. This stuff will take stuff off of just about anything, and it's really great. You got like let's say something that's really like paint. You got paint that you put on someplace and you want to get it off. This is the stuff to do it. So anyway, I'll put a little bit of this on a paper towels. Got some paper towels here, just get a little wet. And then just start scrubbing. And you can see how fast it starts to take off this crud. See, there's a lot of crud inside there. See all that crud right there? Start to wipe it on there. You know, it's starting to come off almost. No tricks here. No tricks. Just plain old elbow grease and lacquer thinner. And so I'll go over this whole handlebar with this, and we'll see what it looks like at the end. I really don't want to paint this. I really don't want to paint them, because most of it, I mean, from here all the way up to about here is going to be covered in tape, and then this part is covered in tape right here. Or that's the part that goes on the stem, and then this. So you've got about this much here that's going to actually be showing. And if I can get it cleaned up real good, maybe I'll just hit it with a little bit of paint. But I don't want to use paint, because it'll come off with the hands and everything. This stuff is probably some kind of a I don't know what you call that. What is that called when they put paint on there, but it's not really painting. It's I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, I'll try to remember and post it when I post the video here. So I'm gonna just clean this up, put it on fast forward when I edit the video, and then see how it comes out. A little more lacquer thinner. Lacquer thinner is not cheap though. It's fairly expensive, but well worth the money. I'll tell you, well worth the money. Makes life clean up real easy on a lot of things. Probably wondering, why is he not wearing gloves? Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing. Why am I not wearing gloves? Well, because I'm lazy, I guess. Something, I don't know. Let's get this cleaned up. And I don't want to use any kind of a bristle brush or anything, because I don't want to scratch it up more than it already is. So I use a lot of this lacquer thinner. I buy it in a gallon at Home Depot. It costs, I don't know, everything's gone up, you know. I mean, we talk about that all the time, but it's probably in the $30 range now for a gallon of lacquer thinner. Maybe not quite that much, but it's up there. I'm gonna spend some money, but well worth it. Well worth it. Let's keep this getting cleaned. It's getting better. All that crud. I don't know what the hell that crud was that was on here. Some kind of, I don't know. I'm gonna put this inside here a little bit. Swirl it around like this. Stick it in there. This is where the when you put the handlebar on, you use these little things, and it's got a screw here that tightens that little black piece up in, and it goes inside here and it expands, and that's what keeps this thing inside the end of the here. And then you put a little bit of the handlebar tape in there, and that's what holds it in place at the end. And then when you wrap it, you get to the end, and then I never did like this, and I've got to come up with a better solution. But when you get to about here, and you put the handlebar tape comes to about here, then you end up using some electrical tape to put it on. I've always hated that, because I got to find a better way to secure the tape at the end, because it just doesn't stick, you know. After a while it comes loose, and you got this fraying end, and then you got to put more electrical tape, and the electrical tape is sticky, and so I don't know. I got to find a better way to do it. I haven't quite figured that out yet. So if anybody's got any suggestions, help me out here. What's about trying to share the knowledge here. Share the knowledge. So let's see. Yeah, it's coming up. I think I'm just gonna maybe just hit it with a tiny bit of. See, I don't want to hit it with paint, because if I hit it with paint, then what's gonna happen is it's gonna end up coming off, and I don't know. I don't. It's got to be a good way, because no paint that I've found so far, anything I can buy off the shelves, is something that would work for this, because there's too much wear and tear on it from your hands touching it and the tape rubbing on it, and just it just is it's just gonna it's a mess. It's gonna come off, and it's not what I want. Even if I use primer or some kind of, I've tried everything, but so if you got a tip for me, let me know. A little bit right there. You can see it. I'll get that off. I don't know what this is. Something on there. That's really crudded up. Oh, that's actually down into the metal a bit. So I'll take a X-Acto plate real carefully, try to scrape some of that off without getting into the paint. Just lightly hit the top of it. Yeah. I don't know what that. Lightly hit the top. There we go. It's actually gone into the paint, and even into the aluminum. This is aluminum, by the way. Yeah. Needs a coating of some kind. Lightly touching this. I do not want to scratch it up too much. I have hit it with 2000 grit sandpaper. This kind of speeds up the process a bit to get some of the crud off the top, without just wiping it with that lacquer thinner. All right. That looks pretty good. Got it all off of here, pretty much. All right. Let's scrub it down with this. Put that on there. Rubbing. Pretty good. You can see it's scratched up, but that's not from me. That came from something else. That was just wear and tear or something. So all right, I think I've decided I'm gonna hit it with some light sandpaper. So these are kind of used. This is actually 400 grit. Let's see, 400. I've decided to sand it down. Yeah, there were too many blemishes and things on here that just have to sand the whole thing down, and once I get it all sanded down, this is using the 400. Um, the feel is pretty good. It's not bad. So I think this will work. And what have I got to lose? You know, if it doesn't work out, what happens then? I gotta either buy a new one or take it off and redo it all again. But so there you go. All right. Now, well, I decided to pull out the big guns and just go for it here. So, watch this. See that right there? I've been sanding on that with my hand or just lightly, but now I've decided I'm just going to take this down. So. This angle here. There we go. That's better. Move this camera a little bit. That's interesting. You look really close, you can see these little, I can't feel them, I can't really feel them, but you can see this. I can't really feel it, but you can see how the metal is not sanding off uniformly. That's interesting. See what happens if I just sand it a little more. Well, it feels really smooth. So I'm gonna do the whole thing, but let's see how I wanted to get all of that decals off of there and everything. So now, once I get this cleaned up, I'll take my little trusty lacquer thinner. I got a little bit on this rag and wipe this thing down, let it dry, and then I've got this primer. It's like 2 times thick primer. It fills in gaps, so gaps like this right here, it'll fill that in and it'll become real smooth, and then I'll just sand it down and then paint it.